Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. How are we doing? How are we doing, people? It's a bit choppy out there. I don't know about you, but for me, it's a bit choppy. Ooh, cold ain't the word. I don't know wherever you are in the world, people, but in Manchester, in England, it's definitely minus something tonight, I'm telling you, today. Breezy. Manchester was a washout over the weekend. Big up to every one of you. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Like, share. Let's go, people. We've got a new revolutionized Man United. Or do we? Or do we? There we go. Somebody like me ain't getting giddy too quickly. I ain't getting too giddy too quickly. Where up, Mundo? How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. Last time we did this, I think did we do the reaction? Did we do the reaction to Villarreal? I think we did.
We did the
preview.
No, with the last time I was on, we were talking about the weekend games.
Oh yeah. Big up anyway. Big up everybody, man. Big up, welcome. So Mundo, a lot of people are getting gassed. A lot of people are getting absolute gassed all over the place. Man United fans are all over, like, and I'm like, listen, I got to see it to believe it. See it to believe it. I ain't getting giddy for nobody's business because I've been down here before, getting excited about Van Gaal, getting excited about this, that. Nah. I know the bankers are still there, and today I was reading that that Ed Woodward ain't going anywhere anytime soon. He ain't going nowhere, basically. So I don't know why people are gassed about, right? Well, the bankers are still there. I believe Ranić left. I think he left Schalke one time because they didn't hire the right doctor. So he's that kind of a person. He will leave if he believes that you're not you're not believing in his methods and you're not giving him that total control. But give me your first 2 cents of it. Me and you have been talking about Ranić for a long, long time in the WhatsApp groups. Even further we go, talking about football structure, talking about him as a director of football, actually, initially. But give me your response, because I don't think we've done a show since the news broke that we're getting Ranić.
I think it's it's the most sensible decision the club has made since Fergie left. It makes sense. I mean, when I was last on here, I said we should get Pochettino now, and I didn't believe that we would go for Ranić just because of his requirements, needing full control. But surprise, surprise, they went for him and they got him. And now that we've got him, I actually don't think we should go for Poch anymore. Are you on mute, I think?
Mundo's changed his mind, therapy. I mean, Mundo's changed his mind.
And not because I think Poch is a bad manager. I just think we've got a better... Now that he's at the club, we can get our number one target, which is Ten Hag.
Mundo, let's deal with it head on first. Big up Notorious FAT. Nuruddin, what's your turn to Ralf consultative? You're always talking about the structure, how we don't have the football people making football decisions. Well, to me, if he was director of football or sporting director, then I can get behind that. But as a consultant, Mundo, a lot of the consultants I know are freelancers. So what's a consultant, Mundo?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a freelance thing, but I think, see, again, I keep harping on about this, about Ed Woodward and his ego. Ed Woodward's put that structure in place, and he doesn't want to sack Merta, does he? He doesn't want to sack Fletcher. So they've had to create a role for Ranić. So they're going to call him consultant, but I'm just hoping that he's actually their boss. Yeah, he's the man calling the shots, even though he's a consultant.
Salams, bro, salams. Yeah, Mundo, exactly what I'm talking. Listen, I just said, so I told the audience before we get into Chelsea tomorrow, which I think we're going to get smashed. But football is a game of opinion. I could be totally wrong. The team could turn up tomorrow and pull a performance out of the hat. But the way we've been playing, Chelsea are going to smash us. But I want to just quickly, we'll come back to Ranić in a minute. We'll come back to what Ranić has done. I'll give you some more information. I lived in Germany for a while, and how highly rated he is. And it was actually Schalke. And the last time I actually remember watching United, last great Man United team. I remember going to Old Trafford and watching the last great Man United team, smashing his team. But he took Schalke from nowhere to the Champions League semi-final. They've never ever been in the Champions League semi-final ever in their lives. And he took Schalke there. Well, here's where he says this consultancy role. For me, are the bankers willing to relinquish the power, the footballing power, and give it to the guy who knows what he's doing? I have to wait and see. That's why, Giddy Army, only when I tell you to get giddy, you get giddy. Here, we don't get giddy because I've been promised this, promised that, promised this. Nah. And also, in this 6 months, we'll come back to it. I don't think we're going to see the difference other than 2 months because there isn't time for him to implement his training methods into the squad ASAP because we don't have the time. We're going to be playing. It's going to be a busy Christmas period. We're going to be playing every couple of days. So it's going to be very difficult. But it's crazy. Let's talk about the Chelsea. We'll come back to Ranić in a minute, people. But let's talk about the Chelsea game. Big up, Mr. Shaka, M9 Shaka. Salams, Nuri. Let's hope the board will give Ranić the power to implement changes needed at the club. If they allow, could you see the rise of United? Big up everyone in the chat. Listen, bro, if they allow him the full control as a direct or sporting director, I think within 3 years, Man United are challenging. That's how confident I am. That is how confident I am. Within 3 years, Man United are challenging. But will they? This is the question, Steve, bro. If they do, then we're challenging. Within 2.5 years, 3 years' time, we'll have a team that can compete for the league. Seriously, I'm being serious, right? But if they don't, and this guy will walk away. If they don't, he'll walk away. He's walked before from many a club. Smash a like on the video, people. Smash a like. Big up to everybody. Big up, Mr. M9 Shaka. Big up with love always, bro. We've not seen you for a while. How you been anyway? Salam. I hope everybody's good with you. Yo, big up everybody, man. Big up. Mundo's here. Like and subscribe, like Wazim said, man. Listen, no other channel is going to tell you what we're going to tell you here. Trust me. Because everybody's too gassed. Everybody's going to be like, oh, because everybody's got like a new toy now. But for me, first of all, it's quite suspicious why he would take it. Why he didn't take Chelsea for 4 months, but he's willing to take United for 6 months. I think he understands and sees there's a lot more fundamentally wrong with our structure than with Chelsea. So that's probably one of the reasons why he's taking a job. But the biggest thing for me is that there is lots of unanswered questions. I'm still waiting for the details, people. But we'll get into Ranić in a minute. Mundo, let's talk about Chelsea. Let's talk about Chelsea. Do you see where do Man United win this game tomorrow? If we can do it.
The problem we have, this is the thing, I can't see how we can because Chelsea defensively are solid. They don't concede goals. It's at Stamford Bridge. We're on really bad form.
We've conceded that we're the third club that conceded the most in the Premier League, by the way. Norwich, Norwich, Newcastle, and Man United are the worst three in the stats. And Chelsea in the stats are up everywhere. They're the highest percentage of passing, highest completion, highest the lowest goals conceded. They only conceded 4 goals. 4 goals. Well, we conceded about 29 or something like that.
And City went there and bossed them, but that's because they were set up quite negatively, Chelsea, in that game. And City only scored 1 goal. And that's Man City. We're Manchester United in the current state we're in. I just don't see it. I don't think we're even going to get anywhere near their goal. Never mind score. Never mind win. And I'm basing this off the Villarreal game. We were horrendous. Reece James and Telles. Yeah, Telles defensively is shocking.
Forget about it. Go on, Mundo.
I just think that, and when you look at Chelsea's midfield, when you look at every part of the pitch, they're just far superior to us. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of those games. Nah. It's just going to be one of those games. If we get a point, that's a well-deserved point. If we get a point tomorrow.
Yo,
Our season starts at home against Arsenal, I think. I think we just have to take this one on the chin.
Yeah. For me, if I'm not lying to you, I just don't want to get embarrassed. That's the only thing. Because it's further damage to players' confidence. So I just genuinely hope that they turn up tomorrow. Big up to every one of you in the comments, man. Love, respect, every one of you. I mean, Carrick coming out with some absolutely ridiculous. Carrick will become the first Englishman to manage a league game for Manchester United since Ronaldo's in '86. So that's something. It's gonna be his last though. It's gonna be his first and last. See you later, mate. It's good while it lasted. It's good while it lasted. With the like I said, the stats, Chelsea are up there. But if football, Mundo, all of it always went to form. It all went to the scripted, right? To the script. It won't be that interesting, won't it? I look at our record there. They've not beat us in the league for a long time there at Stamford Bridge. So saying that, Mundo, all I can remember is almost for 60-something minutes. I mean, in the first half, for about 10 minutes, we were in the game. In the second half, it was a bit more even. But for 70 minutes, Man United didn't come to their fore against Villarreal. Villarreal are very good at keeping the football, but tomorrow, it could be a roasting, Mundo. It could be an absolute... You know what, tomorrow? It could be you-know-who. Mr. Sorbet.
We're going Sorbet.
You can get Sorbet tomorrow, people. But football is unscripted drama. It's 90 or 94 minutes, 95 minutes of scripted drama. And in football, if we can all predict what's going to happen, it could be crazy, people. So at the end of the day, Man United have got players. Yes. There he comes, mate. The horizon, the sunset king. Check the name out, people. Let me just silence this message. Check the name he's going with tonight. Hail Ralf.
Heil Ralf, guten Tag, meine freundlich.
Mate, he's gone for it tonight. He's gone for it. Listen, we've spoke a little bit about Ralf. We're going to come back to it. What hope? First of all, welcome. Are you freezing your nuts off or what's going on? It's cold, isn't it? It's bitter.
I was freezing my nuts off. They fell off somewhere on the street. I can't find them. This is unbelievably cold, man. I woke up today. The wind last night, the whole area changed, man.
Trust me, I thought, you know what? You know where I live in? I live on the top floor in the flat. And I'm telling you, I thought I was taking off like a ship. I was on my way to ET, following ET, and I started dreaming about ET because I thought my whole bedroom was gonna take off.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. But Mundo, is it cold in London as well?
Yeah, man, it's cold, but it's not like you boys. You guys are like in Siberia. Down here, it's cold, but not as bad as. You guys having trees falling down and roofs blowing off and all that kind of shit. We're not as bad as that.
Trust me. Yeah, look at Scholes. He's falling asleep. He's like, yo, he's a bit cold. I let him out in the balcony today, and he's like, it's a bit too cold for me. But hey, Ralf, talk to me.
Yeah.
Are we going to win this tomorrow? Have we got any chance of winning the game tomorrow? Do you see
we've got
of winning? Tell me.
Look, you know what? I like to dream, you know that. That's why I started supporting this team. Tomorrow, if we're going to have a chance of winning, we have to put the work in, man. We have to match them stride for stride. We have to put the effort in, the physical effort. And, stay in the game. Just stay in the game. That's what we need to do. If we turn up and, we're not going to run, we're not going to make challenges. I'm talking about the old school, in the mud type of thing. We need to do that stuff well. I don't know if we're going to come and revolutionize ourselves overnight against Chelsea. It's a hard game, man. Hard game. But we can be there tomorrow, and we've got the ability to score a goal. Do you know what I mean? But we just have to stay in the game and be there, have a presence there. Don't just if we turn up, man, and we get walked over. I'll be surprised if that happens now. All these farewell and that.
Is Harry Maguire
He's suspended. He's suspended tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank God. Then I changed my view. We've got a chance.
You're very excited.
Yeah, man, we need to turn up and be men about it tomorrow. And do you know what I mean? If we do that, I'll rate the boys if they put a shift in, win, lose or draw. But you have to turn up, man, and represent the shirt. You do that, and we have a chance. I mean, the quality's there. It will be a great result if we got something. If we got 3 points, or if we get a draw and we play well. But yeah, I think we have, man. Of course, we've got a chance. We can. Why not?
So basically, did you see that? Can you see what the thing is basically? What he's saying that Ronaldo really struggles to score against Chelsea. I mean, we'll talk about the injury news for them. But Ronaldo struggles apparently. But you know what? He could end that on he could end that record tomorrow by putting in at least 1 or 2 in. But we'll have to get the ball to him, and I can't just see in the way they play. It is going to be very difficult for us. I think I agree with you, Ralf, is that we need to make it into a fight. We've got to draw them out. We've got to make the game messy. We can't let them settle into their patterns and rhythms and play. We have to fight for every second ball.
We have to disrupt them, man.
We have to make it, like the boxing fight. Like we have to make it into where the game, where the tempers are raised. We have to, because if you let them play their football, they're gonna school us, and they will take the only thing about Chelsea is that sometimes they don't take their chances. But in a game like this, when they're going for the league, I think they will. One thing we have to do 100%, I think, Man United have to make sure we don't concede in that first 20 minutes, because the crowd will be vying for blood. We have to stay in the game as long as we can. But in terms of injuries, tomorrow, Kovacic is definitely out, apparently. It's all like Kante is out. They're both like, and then also, what's his name? Something, yeah, the left back is out. The left wing back, he's out as well. Yeah, Chilwell is injured. Maguire obviously suspended for United. Luke Shaw missed because he got concussed, and then a couple of days, a week later, he played. So he could be out or he could be back. I know that Fred is definitely twisted his ankle in a bad way, and he played on against Villarreal. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Cavani are definitely in doubt. Rafael Varane, Paul Pogba, both of them are unavailable, as we know. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like one of the things that they've not beaten us in the last 4 meetings. You know what I mean? They haven't. And they also, like, in the last 4 meetings, they also failed to score as well. So there is some in terms of looking at this game specifically, but in terms of the way the two teams are playing, we are bottom in terms of the form league, right? At the bottom. So Newcastle have not even won a game, and we're worse than them. And they're the best, and they're the top of the league with all of the stats in terms of passing, in terms of pass completion, in terms of chance created. They're up there. They're in the top 3 in all of those stats. So something's definitely got to give. But if they play the occasion and play Manchester United, we might get something. If they play their normal game, we could get murdered here, lads. Seriously, we could get murdered.
Yeah, I mean, even against Juve, they put up, it was like Hudson-Odoi and Ruben Loftus-Cheek and these kind of guys on the pitch, and they still put 4 past Juve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they could have scored.
But you know what? Hudson-Odoi has been firing, to be honest with you. The boy is playing really well at the moment.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. The HH. She's not played him yet since 2009. But while he was in the Premier League, he hardly ever scored against them. I mean, this Chelsea they don't create enough. This Chelsea team is beatable. Wow, Ade's gone for it. They don't create enough chances. They're just very efficient in the team, in my opinion, and they will get found out soon. I don't think they're as free as flowing as Liverpool or City, but I definitely think they will. They're not an easy team to play against, and they create chances. I don't think they're easy on the eye, but I've seen them sometimes create, like they drew with Burnley. They had like 26 shots. They created so many chances. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
How would you approach this game?
Jeff out, mate. Jeff, I don't know where have you been. Have you been in Timbuktu in a hole somewhere, in a cave? I think Ollie's out, by the way. Ollie's chilling in Norway, mate, skiing as we speak right now. I don't think he's preparing anything, but that's what it is. There we go. We found off. I think Ralf will transform United into a force. Top four should be minimum for Ralf. He wants more like winning domestic cups. Also predict that this will be the end of K. Wyatt. Yeah. Kawhi insecure. Wow.
It's being nice there, man. Cows move a bit faster than tanks. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Listen, we'll come back to. I'll give a brief introduction about all the different stats about who Ranyak is. But my biggest overriding thing about Ranyak is, will he get the power that he needs to succeed? That's the thing. Look at here. Scholes is turning around. Scholes is like, what's going on here? Who are these people talking? This is Ralf. That's Mighty Mundo. There we go. But to me, it's just, we have to make the game a messy game tomorrow. Mundo, do you agree? Do we make it fighting, second balls, fighting? And if we get a chance, we have to take it. I mean, honestly, their defense is so stingy. It's unbelievable how stingy they are. Defensively, they're incredible.
Then you have to get past Mendy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we have to keep.
How do you approach it? How do you approach this game, boys?
For me, like I said to you, you got to turn it into a fight.
Can't attack is the only way we can.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is the players, we're saying what the players' mentality and attitude has to be. They have to disrupt the rhythm of Chelsea. You can't let them get their rhythm, let their fullbacks start canvassing us and shit like that. Do you defend deep, stay in it, or do you try and press them? How do you approach this game?
I think if it was me, I would go low block counter, because I think that's not because I agree with those tactics, but I think that's the only tactic that's
the most viable thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And
the thing is, as well, is I know what you're saying about going in like hard, but I just don't see it in our players. Like, we're gonna have Lindelof centre half. He's gonna get bullied.
Lukaku will be back as well tomorrow. Apparently, he was on the bench against Juventus, wasn't he? Lukaku, Timberland. Yeah.
So if you got Lukaku up against Lindelof, that's just
Mundo. Linda soft.
Telles is not great defensively. So already there we've got a bit of an issue. So it's not like back in the day where you used to have Gary Neville like kicking people up in the air and Phil Neville breaking people's legs, against Arsenal, these type of teams. We just don't have those type of players in our squad.
No, we don't. At the end of the day, listen, I just think that if we fight for second balls, if we make the game a messy game, then we might have a chance. If we let them settle into their patterns and we become super passive, like the way we've been against Liverpool, against Chelsea, against Man City, against even Watford, against Villa, against Spurs. Against Spurs was the only team who went passive. Don't be surprised if he plays. But then who's going to play back three? Is he going to play Luke Shaw? If Luke Shaw is fit, don't be surprised if he plays the back three tomorrow. Don't be surprised if he tries to match them.
Do you know what? It's going to be a hard game, man. It is going to be hard because, like, Mundo does make a fair point. I mean, I'm here saying the reason we're saying what we're saying is because we're taking into account our current crop of players, the type of players. Is true. We haven't got players that can really disrupt a game and be nasty and aggressive and make life uncomfortable. Like Burnley can do and shit like that. Try and make it, a horrible, not a nice game to watch, just a filthy affair. We don't think we have those players, but I think we have to go in with a mentality that, look, if they are the better team, they are a lot better than us in terms of they're stable. They know exactly what they're doing. They're well drilled. We have to try and disrupt this rhythm. We have to stop them getting all the width in the world by just giving them Reece James and Alonso just the freedom of the wings. Because what they've been doing recently, how when City are faced with, an entire bus in front of them and they do that beautiful dink ball and somebody runs in back post, ball across the face. Last two games, Chelsea are starting to do things like that as well. But man, the boys have to want to win this game tomorrow. They have to be hungry for it to prove a point. Do you know what I mean? They have to be there and be counted. It's not, you'll be able to see if it's a walkover, I'll be pissed off. But they have to turn up at least. I'm not sure how Carrick's going to approach it because it is hard. 3 or 4 at the back. I don't know. I think it's Fred's fit. He has to play. Do you know what I mean? I'd play Fred and McTominay tomorrow in the midfield. I would, bro. It's that type of game, I think. Do you know what I mean?
And you've got to play Rashford and Sancho out wide, so they can get in behind their fullbacks.
Yeah, as well.
Okay, Mundo, I'll go to you first. Give me your formation. What formation do you think tomorrow? What do you think we should play? Fullbacks. Yeah.
I would play a 4-3-3.
Okay, go on, pick your team. Guys, in the comments as well, pick your team. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. Let's go. This is the Therapy Army. I'm
only picking this team because of injuries, but I'd go for, obviously, Bailly and Lindelof. Short left back if he's fit. If not, it'll have to be Telles, Wan-Bissaka. I'd probably go for Matic in the holding role, and I'd go for I'd play Fred if he's fit, and Bruno Fernandes.
So who are you playing in midfield again? Remind me.
Matic, Fernandes, and Fred.
Okay.
And then up front is obviously Ronnie leading the line. Rashford
Sancho on the right.
Sancho right.
Martial or Rashford on the left?
Rashford on the left. I'm going for raw pace.
Okay. Ralf, give us your team. I know you're going to be there tomorrow, apparently. According to rumours, you might be there tomorrow. You might be in the stadium. So tell us.
I'm gonna be there, bro. Matt Judge has invited us, so I'm going.
Don't mention that banker to me. Don't mention that banker unless you're criticizing him.
Do you know what, man?
Again.
What would I play tomorrow? It's hard, man. You know what? Mundo's team is pretty good. I'd go with don't know, man. I swear I don't know. I'd go with the back 4 that Mundo picked.
So who's
did you say Mundo? Where you've got? Well, you can. All we've got is Bailly and Lindelof fit. That's it. Everyone else is out. So you've got no choice there. You got Wan-Bissaka, of course, at the right. Then you got Luke Shaw or Telles on the left. If Shaw's fit, I start him. If Telles is fit, that's it. That picks itself. The midfield. You know what? Do you know what, bro? How do I set up this shit team tomorrow?
Scholes is not worried, mate. Scholes has got some brilliant goals against Chelsea.
You know what I'll do? Do you know what I'll do tomorrow? I don't know, man. I'll go with... Do you know, I'll just go with Mundo's team. I'm trying to think, maybe I put Donny van der Beek in there. But again, only because of the way that we're playing and who we're up against. I think our best bet is we're not going to play them off the park or anything like that. Fortunately, we're at a moment where we have to adapt our game to the opposition somewhat. We can't just go and play because we're not at that stage yet. We need to wait a little bit till this new manager does what he's going to do. But I just, I'm thinking Fred, McTominay, Bruno. Yeah, Matic as well is a great shout. He's good on the ball and stuff. I would like to play a little bit more, maybe put Donny van der Beek in there and sacrifice one of those, midfielders of ours, but I am a bit scared to do it. So probably you go with Mundo's team. But if I see something a bit different, I won't be upset or anything like that. I'm clutching at straws with it a bit, but I will just go with Mundo's, I suppose, to be honest.
One player I don't want to see tomorrow is McTominay. He's been on horrendous form.
Bro, do you know what? I just to say, I said to you, Dino and Irfan, in the last podcast, I told you Fred was sick, and I told you McTominay played well. Do you know who agrees with me? Scholes, Hargreaves, Carrick, everybody, every single fan cam was telling you the same thing. I don't know what you were watching. He got man of the match by nearly everybody, Fred. And McTominay was getting bigged up as well. They played really well at Villarreal, I swear, I watched the first half only as well. You got, and apparently second half we were a bit better.
No,
I'm just telling you. I'm only telling you what the pundits are saying.
Well, listen, I don't know what game you watch. I don't know what pundits you were listening to.
Not what I watched. Forget what I watched. I'm telling you what
I don't know what game you were watching. In the first half, those two absolutely got dominated. They came
Nah,
into
they
the game in
didn't,
the last.
bro.
Listen, let me finish my point. You made your point, so let's let people come back.
Look who's bloody talking.
Because I'm telling you now, if you gave him brother, he'll go to bed with both of them tonight. Do they both sleep with you? Are you their personal PR spin
I'm
doctor?
telling you, man. I swear, I'm just telling you because I thought, you know what? Irfan and Nuruddin are ripping Fred and McTominay. Yeah, let me go and see. Let me
in the last 20 minutes. In the last 20
let me
minutes.
go. All right, I thought, you know what I'll do? Let me go and listen to what Scholes says. Let me hear what the manager says. Let me hear what every other fan channel says. Yeah, I swear to God, I'm not telling you what I'm saying now. I'm telling you what the people that watch the game, the pros say.
You know what? It's different opinions, isn't it? That's why the beauty
Yeah, yeah.
it's different opinions. I personally think in the last half an hour, in the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, as soon as United scored, the game changed, so they had to go for it. Rashford bought on. Mundo was on here as well. We analysed it, didn't we, Mundo? They were scared of the threat of Rashford, so they slightly altered it. But in that first half, the way they were cutting through us, McTominay and Fred were nowhere to be seen. I don't know what game anybody was watching, and I think the last 20 minutes was different and only Fred. But Scott McTominay has been on horrendous form. He's been absolute dog, right? But for me, with a new coach, everybody gets a
clean slate.
So we will see. Yeah. But for me, the kid was played and then he was rushed back from having groin surgery. Right? Anytime you have any surgery and then you're playing and Donny van der Beek is not even playing and Matic played against Southampton. He's never been the same. So for me personally, Scott McTominay needs to be dropped. Just for his own sake, he needs to be taken out. He was ill or wasn't feeling well. That's why he didn't go to Scotland. I mean, all you have to say about him is that for Scotland, big up to everybody who's Scottish, big up to Bobs. But in footballing terms, they're middos now. They're not big powerhouse. Scott McTominay plays in defense because they don't trust him in midfield. What does that tell you? And that's international football, where he should shine and the game's slower. So anyway, that's just me. That's my opinion. I think this kid has got some Scottish racket protection thing going on at Old Trafford. But my team is tomorrow. If he's fit, if Luke Shaw is fit, I won't be surprised if they win with a 5 at the back tomorrow. Telles and Wan-Bissaka wing backs, Shaw, Bailly, and Lindelof. But then I'm thinking, what defenders would we have? Unless you put Tormengi and stuff like that, if one of them gets injured, you know what I mean? Unless you put Tormengi there. So that's the back 5. The 2 midfield tomorrow will be, because this game ain't good, because their midfield is not going to be super pacey, Mundo. It's not going to be full of pace, right? Their wing backs are. So I would personally play. I wouldn't risk, because we're going to need Fred against Arsenal. If it's not 100%, I wouldn't play him. I would tomorrow play. I would play in the number 8 or the number 6. I would play Donny van der Beek. And I'm hesitant to say to play Matic. And I won't play Bruno either. I think Bruno will be a sub for me tomorrow, because he was sulking for being bought off the other night. He wasn't celebrating.
Does anybody fancy Lingard?
In this game, maybe we need running. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe for running, to give us a bit more legs to track back. So I will play. I will play Lingard, and then I will play Rashford and Ronaldo. Sorry, Sancho, Rashford, and Ronaldo. So I will play Donny van der Beek in midfield tomorrow.
Yeah, do you know what? Your team.
No, Lindelof. Sorry, Lingard won. It'd be Matic and Donny tomorrow. They're the 2 that would play for me tomorrow in midfield. And then the 3 up the pitch, Mundo. It's exactly what you said. It's Sancho, Ronaldo, and Rashford. So my midfield would be, if we played in a 5, right? If we matched them, it would be De Gea's goalkeeper, Lindelof, Bailly, and Shaw is the 3 centre backs. Telles and Wan-Bissaka as the wing backs, The two midfield I will play is Donny and Matic. And then the three up the pitch would be Sancho, Ronaldo, and Rashford. And then that gives you three attacking subs, Mundo. It gives you Bruno, it gives you Martial, and then it gives you Lingard as well if you need more legs. What do you think of that team?
Again, I think that's all right. You're going... that's also a sensible pick. But that allows us, I think, what your team allows us to do. I think with my team, I want to stay in the game a little bit. I'm a little bit scared to concede a bit of creativity, to concede from the defensive and add some creativity. But your team, I think, might allow us to get up a little bit more. And with the natural width when we're in defense, hopefully we might be able to minimize them, their wing backs, killing us completely. So you might be right. Again, another good side. It's a difficult one tomorrow. I think the team that will be selected by the manager will let you know what he is here to do at the beginning of the game. He might just look, we need to stay in this game, don't concede an early goal, feel them out, and then start taking a bit of risks. But obviously goals change games, you can't legislate, but maybe that's it. But you don't want to start, because like you said, we might get whacked, but we can also win this game. We can be in this game. It is just a big variable.
I don't know winning the game. I think that's a bit far-fetched. I don't know about winning the game, but I think we could get a draw. I think we could get a draw if we get a result. But the reason why I went with the three at the back, because their wing backs are their most potent. So the three players that make them thick, make the team function, is the two wing backs, right? Reece James is on the form of his life. He's their top scorer. I repeat, Reece James is their top scorer. He makes the team thick, right? I would get Telles and Wan-Bissaka and also Alonso as well when he plays. Alonso is also one of the better players. I would meet them up the pitch and put pressure on them up the pitch. Rather than sitting back all the time, meet them up the pitch because they haven't got Kante to dominate the game. And then I would get Donny, because he's super intelligent footballer, just to sit on Janino. Janino, if you watch Chelsea, Janino is the guy. He'll make every game they play, he makes over 100 passes. He's the guy that constructs the game for them. He's the guy who gets from the three centre backs. He's the guy that plays the wing backs in. He plays it short, and then they go out wide. He's the guy. So Donny to sit on him. Donny technically and tactically super intelligent. Just to sit on Janino and stop them at the source. What are you laughing at, Mando?
Some of the comments.
What are they saying? Well, they're coming for me. Listen, by the way, this is Tuchel. Yeah, big up the HH. Tuchel, remember who's training? It's in training. There is a bit of difference between ready for training and ready for games. We only have 3 changes allowed. The possibility that he starts is not very high. So he might come on. He might come on, if he's been injured. That's what might happen. They've got a really good squad anyway. Yeah. Listen, we're going to come on to that. But guys, Mundo, give me your scores. But the point what I was trying to make to you is that other than sit back, Mundo, and wait till we concede and we're playing low block, I want us to be aggressive and meet these players up the pitch. Stop Janino at source, right?
You know what?
Stop the 2 wing backs at source of the pitch. Remember Ollie's first season, we did that with Liverpool. Liverpool were an amazing one. They came to Old Trafford. I know this game's that way. It's that Stamford Bridge. But with Ollie, that to me, tactically, Ollie that day got it spot on because he met Robertson and Trent up the pitch with the wing backs. And actually, it was soft. Sorry, Maguire. At that time, Maguire and Luke Shaw did a decent job on Salah at that time. But bro, that's what I'm expecting.
What you're saying there, we did absolutely amazing when we drew with them 0-0. We pushed their fullbacks right back with ours. Yeah, it was a sick game with that 0-0 game. I thought that day was when I thought, Ras, Ollie is making progress here. He went with that team, and Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka busted them high up there, right into their own half, and they would do it back to us. It was like a tug of war. So I do understand what you're saying, and we have done that before. But those days was when we was, we're going through a reasonable patch. We popped Leipzig not too far before that game. We had a few good results in big games, but right now, I'm taking into account what we've become right now in the last 8 flipping weeks, or the last 8-9 games, whatever it is. But again, I think what you're saying is right. You know what I mean? If they can pull that off, that would be very beneficial, I think, for tomorrow's game, if we are prepared to take that risk.
Is this what you are laughing at, Mundo? Lukaku got a worse touch than Jeffrey Epstein.
Nah, he has, man. I swear. Do you know what I mean? Just because he went to Italy and I watched Lukaku again, it's still Lukaku, boys. That will not change. It's still Lukaku. We've had him. It's the same guy.
Listen, the Chelsea fan there who just sent that, if Fred doesn't play, could you tell me who's going to play in midfield tomorrow? So Kovacic is out. Kante is out. It's going to be, what's his name? That English kid. What's his name? Tall. Loftus-Cheek. Who else? Who else do Chelsea play in midfield when they're out? Oh, yeah, and it might be
Mason Mount.
But Mason Mount, is he going to play next to Jorginho? Is he going to play in a deep number 8? Is he going to play as a deep number 8? Tell me, Chelsea fans in the comments, please tell me your midfield for tomorrow. Who's going to play with Jorginho? Who's going to play with him? Yeah, C1 London. Tell me who's going to play in your midfield tomorrow. Is it Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho? Who's going to play there? Mundo, give me your score while they do that in the comments. Give me your score.
I don't think we're going to get battered. I think it'll be closer than people think. I think we might lose. I think we're going to lose, and I think we'll lose 2-0.
There we go. He says, Nuruddin, we will have Jorginho and Ruben pivot if there's no Fred. We'll cook your midfield because he's the only way one with one speed and constant energy to try stop our build-up and play. Now, I understand that. But for me, I just want to get a bit of control when we're on the ball because he's wasteful in possession. Fred might press, but he's wasteful in the possession. And I'm sorry, I can't see you having so much pace that Matic is going to be running a lot, chasing a lot back. That's why I'm trying to stop Juninho at the source. And I want your wing backs pinned back. That's the only way to play you guys. Because I think if we go with a low block, Mundo, with a 4-3-3 or like 4-2, you know what I mean? 3, you know what I mean? Like 3-1. I don't want to do that. I think we can get slaughtered. And I hope that if Luke Shaw is fit, if he's over his concussion, we can play because Tuamengi will be on the bench. But go on. So what did you say the score is? If you're going to get
I think 2-0 to Chelsea.
2-0 to Chelsea. Okay, Ralf, are you going to be more optimistic or what are you saying?
I'm going 2-1 to United.
Yeah. Okay, 2-1. Wow, that's great. Telles, Baye, Lindelof, Albert, Matic, Van der Beek, Bruno, Rashford, Sancho. If Fred instead of Matic, if he's fit. Okay, fair enough, Callis. Listen, Mundo, you are a fan of the poster for the show today, right? Please give the viewers a little bit of synopsis what Succession is about. Then now we're going to come back to Ralf. I'm going to say, if Man United go aggressive, stop Juninho, we could get a draw tomorrow. We could get a draw. But that is the best possible way that Man United are going to sit up and play. I think we have to stop Juninho at the source because he's the one he's the playmaker, deep lining playmaker. I think the two wing backs are their best players, and we've got to stop them. I think when teams have stopped them, they look ordinary. They can look ordinary, especially with that Kante's energy, and high press and winning the ball back up the pitch. So that's just me. Other times, if we don't do that, it could be 2 or 3.
Well, it's a sad indictment of where we are that, when you look at the squads, we should be going there looking for a result. But because we've been so crap, because we've
not been coached,
players, but no coaching and no structure, I'm going into a game tomorrow thinking we're going to get licked.
Exactly.
It's a horrible feeling. Like
it is. I mean, I'm supposed to get excited and look forward to these games. Usually, I'll be excited about playing Chelsea. Used to get excited. Oh, big game Sunday, 4:30. You know what I mean? Big game. Super Sunday. Every Super Sunday, we've been absolutely smashed.
Exactly. This is the first time for I think as a United fan that I've not been able to even see any way my team can win.
Exactly. Mundo, there we go. We come to it, guys. Ralf, I've already asked you, innit? You think we could get a draw 2-1 United, right? Let's get into it. Mundo, tell people about Succession. What Succession is about? What is it about?
If anyone hasn't watched it, I recommend it. It's a badass show. If you like shows like House of Cards and shows where there's like people stabbing each other in the back and loads of skullduggery, it's a show for you. Mm-hmm. It's about a media conglomerate and it's like one of the biggest media conglomerates in the world. Like
I heard it's loosely based on a little bit like Fox News, apparently.
Yeah, it's a bit like.
Is this the United Real Therapy?
Yes.
Well, what's going on?
Well, what we're talking about Succession, and the point I'm going to come to in a minute is that let Mundo.
Okay, sorry. Go on, Chris.
Obviously, there's the head of the family who's this oligarch who's head of all this media, all these things.
Mundo, you say that means the Glazers. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then there's the son.
Yeah.
And there's
Edward
who's like
Edward Wood.
No. Yeah. So he's got like because there's infighting. So they're always trying to. His second eldest son is always trying to do his legs and kind of take the business from him.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's very good. So there is 4 siblings in this family, and they all play their part in the going
scheming against each other, basically scheming. Yeah. So the reason why we did the poster because that's where we go. Succession. If you looked at the poster very closely, people, you can see we're on our 3rd interim. We've had 7 people in charge of Manchester United on a match day. 7 in how many years? Nearly 9 years. So it just shows you we're not just a Netflix special. We can also be like the House of Cards or Succession. We are absolute thriller. Absolute thriller. We are what do you call these shows? Kind of a drama, pure skullduggery. That's what's been going on because the bankers are in charge, the Glazers are where they are. But now we got a guy called Ralf Rangnick. So I'll tell you a little bit about Ralf Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick is German, for those of you who don't know. He was born in Beckenach, I think that's in West Germany, in 1958. He started his career at Stuttgart, you know what I mean, in the 2nd division in 1976. But he's also noted for his strategic talents. He was added as a player coach. His playing career was short-lived, but he primarily concentrated mainly in Germany. He was a student in the UK. I'm gonna say to people, he played for this team. I think he was down south. Was it down south? This team down south when he was a university exchange student 1 year, and he did not like the physicality of the league. He was really, as an athlete, he was very much there an hour before, like the warm-ups are before games. He wanted to get out there, and he was quite shocked that people were just rolling out of bed and playing. Like, he didn't understand that. He didn't understand these guys smoking, drinking beer on the side of the pitch, were just getting on playing. To say that what his playing style is quickly, I just want to tell a story, right? So Rangnick in the 1980s took his team at a time that he was managing, took them to play in a friendly in the Soviet Union. He played a team, Dynamo Kiev, and this maverick coach, Russian coach, I forgot his name, but this maverick Russian coach that was experimenting with different styles of play. By the way, Russian, especially the Soviet Union, was very intense in the way they trained their footballers, their athletes, because it was the Cold War. So they tried these incredible methods, and Mavericks were allowed to flourish. Anyway, he's playing in the game, basically. Rangnick's playing against his team, Dynamo Kiev, and he's playing against this maverick Russian team, and they would play pre-season friendlies. And Rangnick tells a story how he stopped for a minute. He stopped watching the game and he started to count their players because he was like, "What the hell are they doing to us?" He's famously said he thought they had 13 players, and all because that team, that Dynamo Kiev team, was pressing the shit out of them, literally hunting in packs, right? Not just like headless chicken, like you see with Bruno. None of that. I'm talking about hunting in packs and pressing. And he was absolutely blown away by that. He then thought about it and thought, wow, this is a way to play. So he would go and watch that Dynamo Kiev team, train. He would dress up, no word of a lie, secretly, go there, make notes, go there endlessly, weeks, send his other coaches there to make notes. And then he became the Gegenpress. What's become now the Gegenpress was then being developed by Ralf Rangnick, right? Ralf Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick is an innovator. He's one of the godfathers of German football. He took two of the what they call the Red Bull teams, Salzburg and IP Leipzig, right? Before that, he had a team called which he took from the 4th division and like climbed them through the league. So he's got incredible innovative kind of coaching ideas, maverick. He's famously says about a player, you can't coach if the player is not younger than 23, I don't want them. Because he believes young players, he downloads all of this coaching and all of these styles into him. One of the most maverick thing about him is that during those teams, when he managed those teams in Germany, let's say he was a nighttime, he's there thinking about an idea. Come midnight, he'll ring all the players. Right, got what players are like, what we're about to go to bed with? No, meet me at the training ground. This is like 4:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, no, we're training till 4 o'clock in the morning. Because you have to get this. The idea of getting the ball back, like the 8 seconds given. He used to have a very annoying, like a whistle or something that made this horrific noise. And he would constantly press that when they were not getting the ball back enough. And players who are tired and were fatigued, they will do everything to get that back. Bielsa had similar, what's called murder ball, where it's 40-minute game where you are winning the ball back, you're pressing the hell out of each other, right? Rangnick is that type of mentality. He's coaching really in the last couple of years, decade. He's 63 now, for those of you who don't know. But he's not been coaching, and his coaching is not being at the level that it was before when he basically spurred two clubs, like, and both clubs now compete in the Champions League, Salzburg and now it was also a Hoffenheim as well. What he did with Hoffenheim, what he did with RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig within 5 years they're a Champions League team. They took Schalke to the Champions League final. Like this is something he's innovative, but he needs full power and control to be able to do that. Recently, apparently, he wants to train and be a coach again. He's missed the daily one-to-one. But his main focus in the last 10 years or so has been to establish as a director of football. I've seen him outside Old Trafford before. A couple of years ago, he came to speak to United. You know, big up Mr. Aaron UTD. Mr. Aaron UTD's got a photo with him on you can check it out. He posted it the other day. Go and check out Aaron's socials. He posted a photo with Rangnick. And I remember thinking, what is he here for? By the way, there's nearly 200 of you in here. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. So that is about Ralf Rangnick. I'm sure I'll go into further more details. We'll do a show specifically, especially if I see the full details. We see all the details. I'll be able to go into much deeper. I've known about Ralf Rangnick for a long time. Big up Kevin who lives in North Westphalia near Bonn. He took me to a Schalke game. They absolutely go crazy about him. He left because the club didn't hire a doctor that he wanted, right? That's the kind of mentality he is. If people lie to him, he's not going to speak. And I don't know if the bankers are fully going to give the full control. But, well, Mundo, I'll let you come in at this point. Ralf Rangnick is going to need, do you agree or disagree with me? He's going to at least bring 3 of his staff. Because of the way that we're playing every couple of days, he won't be having that much time on the training pitch with those methods. The biggest thing what he's going to have to do to coach these teams is through video analysis. Luckily, this number 2 that's going to come in is a guy called Lars Kornekater. I'm butchering his name, but some of you know him. He was a guy, he was a video analyst for Pep. He's followed him. He's already in Moscow with him, go to Moscow, and he's the guy that's going to come with him. But the most important guy to come with Rangnick is going to be the fitness coach. Because, Mundo, when Oli first came, in that game I was talking about, where we pressed Liverpool up the pitch, we had 4 injuries within 20 minutes of that game because Manchester United were counter-pressing Liverpool. Am I wrong? What do you think?
Well, I think we're out of the 20 teams, we're bottom in terms of running stats. We're probably the worst. So, and yeah, it's in high intensity. And I remember when the same happened with Klopp when he took over Liverpool. They had loads of injuries right at the beginning, if you remember. Loads of people getting injured. Because it just takes a while for players to get used to it. And some of the older players may never get used to it. So it's I still think he's going to have to reshape the squad. But the thing is, they need what he needs to do in January. January is key for me. He needs to get a midfielder in January. He absolutely must sign a midfielder in January.
With that kid at IB Leipzig, what's his name, for 23 million? I posted it before.
Haidara.
Yeah, Haidara. Yeah, we linked with him. Stephen Kramer, no disrespect, man. You've got good midfielders, but what does he tell you when he can't get into your midfield? Billy Gilmore's better than him. Gibbs, what's his name? McGinn's better than him. So why is he in Manchester? Why should Man United accept McTominay in our midfield? It just doesn't.
I think they're different to him. Billy Gilmore's more of a Jorginho type. He's the man that will give you many passes in a game, and John McGinn is more of an 8 that goes forward. Scott McTominay plays to give you a defensive solidity, take the ball from your defense.
Listen, Scott McTominay is not a holding midfielder. His best games for Manchester United have been as a number 8. But anyway, what do you think about Ralf Rangnick? And do you agree with me that a lot of the coaching has to be done through video analysis, knowing that human beings, some players will absorb that through video analysis and some of them won't. But Man United fans who are expecting us in a month's time to be playing pressing game, the most important guy he's going to bring with him is the fitness guy. But go ahead, Ralf.
Just one more point before he comes in. What the best we can hope for is that he can get us organised. That's the start. You know what I mean? Yeah. Getting our team shape and getting us organised. And then everything else must follow. Because at the minute, we're just so disjointed and disorganised. It's a joke. That's what that has to be his priority, I think.
I think one thing to say is we're nowhere near as bad as what we're actually been seeing. I think the manager sometimes completely loses the reins. You go into free fall and, only great managers can dig themselves out of certain holes. And this was a hole that was too big. So all the players, for me, they're getting criticised. They've shrunk. The personality has died, which is unacceptable in a Man United shirt playing for such a big club. But all the players are not as bad as this. Like Mourinho, when he lost his job, the team is nowhere near as bad as what it was playing. No way. But these things happen. For me, Ralf Rangnick, I don't know anything about him. All I know is I'm impressed when I hear him speak. And I'm excited because of what some really great managers have had to say about him. He speaks about 3 things, which are 3 things that we're missing. The first thing, he calls it the 3 C's. The first one is concept. So he believes any manager to be successful has to have almost a film of the perfect game in his mind. He has to know exactly how he wants to play, exactly. He believes that even from space, you could see a Conte team, you can see a Simeone team, you can see a Pep Guardiola team. He doesn't say what's the right or wrong way, but he's an advocate of heavy metal football. He actually says, I like heavy metal players, heavy metal football. We go for the jugular quickly. We're very aggressive. If he was a boxer, you'd think Mike Tyson. They go for the knockout immediately, and they don't stop. So that's the concept. I think with us, we lost sight of a concept with Oli. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do anymore, and he lost it completely. Then the next one is competence. The competence part is getting the right people to execute the film in his mind on the field. That's where you're going to see the people that he brings with him. They're going to earn their keep. And the last one is capital. He says capital is important, but it becomes much less of an importance if you get the other 2 C's right. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? We need the right players, not the most expensive players.
Exactly.
That's why he said, he says if you watch Salah and Mane, when Klopp bought them, what makes Liverpool and City great teams
it's the system.
Is that these superstars, as good as they have become going forward and stuff, the pressing, right up until the 90th minute, the work rate, they didn't used to do any of that, he said about Mane and Salah. He had them players. He had Mane. He said all this came for them under Jurgen Klopp. They've learned to play that way under Jurgen Klopp. So that's how Liverpool are able to get players with attributes that fit their system and improve them and develop them and make them what they are. So when I hear all these things, these are all deficiencies in the current Manchester United setup. And if he can bring those to us, hopefully we will, at least, as Mundo says, one, we will be organized, and two, you'll start to tune in, win, lose or draw, with an understanding of exactly what we're trying to do. But more importantly, hopefully you will enjoy what we're trying to do and buy into it, because sometimes a manager might come, you see what he's trying to do, but it's not your type of football that you want to see. Some people had that with Van Gaal. So for me, in theory, theory is not practice. I'm excited that we have made a bold change, because this is the type of personality and manager with certain ideas that we've not had since Ferguson left. And that's what gets my juices flowing here. But when I'm excited, it's not to say we're going to go and mash it and win everything. I'm excited at the change, at the prospect of what can be. But I'm also not discounting that we might in 6 months be sat here saying, who's next?
Exactly.
That's what I'd say.
That could happen. That could happen.
Yeah.
Because this
Yeah,
is
of
my
course.
question. This is going to come with my question, yeah, and I go to Mundo. What players do you think in Man United, do you think majority of players will take it on themselves to adapt to his needs? Or do you think, because we've already created monsters and prima donnas, yeah? Everybody's got a clean sweep, yeah? You know what I mean? A fresh clean sheet, right? That's everybody in terms of what our views of these players are. It's going to be sink or swim, Mundo. What players do you think are going to resist his methods?
I think
And what players do you think are going to be resistant to his methods, and what players do you think he's going to be good for? That's the last question we're going to end on the show.
I think the players that I think that would flourish under him: Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford. You see that there's a common thread here: young, fast players that, for me, have great potential but hasn't been developed under our previous managers, right? But I think this guy, the way he wants to play, will suit their game. When you try those other than Sancho, the other players are instinct players. They play better when they don't really have to think about what they have to do. Rashford plays better when he plays off the cuff. If he's one-on-one and he's got time to think, 9 times out of 10 he misses. But if it's instinctive, he's through and he just takes he's more likely to score. So the way that Rangnick sets up his teams is, with the whole pressing and forward passing only and everything's kind of heavy metal, that suits those kind of players. So, but the players that will I think struggle, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, is the older players. I can see guys like Mata, Matic, they'll be gone. Then they're not going to fit in the system. I think Cavani might be at risk.
Actually, Cavani presses. Cavani's a high pressure. He's one of the best. He's one of the busiest players in our team, actually. And I think Rangnick will love him because he's still doing it at that age. He's that. When we play with Cavani, Mundo, when you go to the stadium, the guy never stops running. Never stops running. But obviously, it's the injury. It's very injury prone.
It's the injury proneness that's the problem. And I think if he thinks he can get his younger players to do that, then he's not going to play Cavani because Cavani's injury prone.
All the square passes. Good night, Vienna.
Yeah, I think McTominay is in trouble unless he adapts his game. I actually think Fred will benefit from him.
Yeah,
because Fred likes to press, and also his passing is simple. If he's just press, win the ball back, give it to a better player. Yeah, that suits Fred. When you're playing low block, you're giving the ball and expect Fred to pull strings and do stuff in the midfield. Never going to happen because his ball distribution is horrendous. But one thing you can never criticize him for is his energy and ability to get around the pitch. If he's coached the right way, I think he would suit that system. So I think Fred would benefit. The interesting one, There's two interesting ones for me. Ronaldo, because is he going to press or not? And Bruno Fernandes.
To be fair, Bruno does the one-man headless pressing, but Bruno cannot be a number 10. His team's no number 10, other than inverted, like inverted.
Let me ask you, Mundo, what do you think about Lingard in this system?
Question. Ralf, go ahead. You tell us the truth. By the way, big up every one of you. Listen, there's over 200 of you in here. Please like, share, subscribe. Callis, you need to let me know how many likes we got on this video, just for the algorithm, so more people can be able to see the video. Also, just to say here, Ranier, it's fast, a proactive attacking, counter-attacking, counter-pressing, exciting and entertaining style of football. I just want to be entertained, Ralf. I don't know about pressing, counter. I just want to be entertained. I'm starved. And by the way, also, big up Schneider S. The manager that he developed his technique to the Gegenpress is Valery Labanovsky. I can't even say it. Labanovsky, yeah? Big up Valery Labanovsky, because the innovator, mate. Absolute innovator. And we cannot forget people who put the blueprint down. These guys are absolute football mavericks. Without it. And also, the other thing I wanted to say about Ranić as well, he's influenced Hans Flick, he's directly influenced Nagelsmann, he directly influenced Thomas Tuchel, he influenced Jurgen Klopp, because his team at that time, I think it was Hoffenheim, went and beat Dortmund 4-1, and it could have been 6 or 7, right? And after that game, what's his name? Klopp asked him, and then Klopp developed his Gegenpressing even more. Every manager that studied onto him or watched him or stole that kind of ideas from him, but they've also added their little thing to it as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see. But go ahead. I'm going to come to you, Ralf, and you're going to end the show because we're going over an hour and 7 minutes. So we're going to end with an hour and 10. So you've got 2 minutes to tell me, what players do you reckon, from everything that you're hearing from Ralf Ranić, what players are going to sink, what players are going to swim?
Well, we're picking up a common theme. I think a simple way to put it, how many of our players would do well in a Liverpool side? Ask that question, and you might be able to start filtering certain players out and seeing a future for others. I think it's from the description of fast, high intensity, high pressing. That means energy. That means work rate. That means, speed of thought, speed of movement. That's what you get from Liverpool. They're constantly dynamic. They don't stop moving. So, yeah, the players with age, the players with a lack of agility, the players perhaps that are not big engines. That's why I was asking Mundo, what do you think Lingard might bring to the table on the Ranić? Do you think he'd do well? I think he might. He has some good qualities that I can see, breaking lines, driving with the ball, good presser, high energy. He's got a bit of everything about him. But me, I'm interested. I think the ones Mundo mentioned are ones that most of us agree with. And from the description, you'd say, yeah, those are pretty obvious ones. I'm interested to see the not so obvious ones, how they will be. And I'm interested to see if they're not going to work out, are the board going to go and say to him, okay, you can change 5 players and go and get 5 other ones, or 6 players, or however many he needs. Because the way you marry this up, it does look like there at first glance might be quite a few there that may struggle in this. But I'm really excited about Wan-Bissaka, how he will do or not do in this. I'm interested to see how McTominay will do in this, and Lingard will do in this, and Donny van der Beek, I think, will be all right. Sancho has already played in that type of thing. He'll be all right. And Ronaldo is another big one. And I want to see Maguire, because Maguire, whatever we say about him, this is the record signing for a defender in the history of the game of football. And he's on big money and he's got a long contract. To get rid of Maguire or sack him off is not going to be easy without taking a major hit on the transfer fee, and finding somebody to pay £200,000 a week is difficult. So I'm interested to see those little aspects and peccadillos, how they are going to be addressed.
One of the big things about the Gegenpressing here, thanks Khalid Ramadin Lassie, one of the chief reporter for United Real Therapy. He talks about the Gegenpressing. The Gegenpressing, the team, after losing possession, immediately attempts to win the back possession rather than falling back into regroup together. So that is totally what we will be playing lately with Oli, because Oli kind of modified it slightly a little bit of what we were playing under Mourinho, which is low block FC. Anyway, This is the guy. This is Laban Bosky is the guy. Was years ahead. Big up Snyder. I'm gonna check out that book. There's a great book on him by the great writer Simon Cooper. Okay, we're gonna definitely check out that book. Here, see, here you get educated people. None of this about let's just get excited because Ranić is coming. For me, it's all will depend on how certain players take to him, and we won't see really until about a month and a half. We won't really see the type of football that Ranić wants to do because there's not enough time in a training ground for the team to be able to execute that. He's going to have to do it here and there, right? What about the Gherkin? The Gherkin. Big up the Gherkin crew. Listen, I just want to say big up to him. Yeah, Thomas Tuchel played under him, and then Thomas Tuchel was working in the bar. Thomas Tuchel got a bad injury. I think a bad knee injury when he was a young player. And then he was back in Stuttgart, working in the bar. He gave him a call, and then next minute it is what it is. Arsenal are up. Arsenal up, you fucking muppets. Arsenal up. Okay, Taylor Baker, you take care, lad. You take care. You're welcome. You're welcome. Red Parrot and Call. The top three teams, i.e. Liverpool, City, Chelsea, work together with the talent and hard work. United have relied on forming a team around stars and protecting weakness. Big up! Bangers believe. It's true. That's 100% true. We are about making commercial signings. We don't sign footballers.
It's a step in the right direction, man. You know what I mean? From the board, I'll put my hands up and say, finally, we brought in a guy that we unanimously agree on, and a guy that is going to need, and they're going to have to relinquish some power. They were saying it today. A lot of people, finally, they are going to relinquish some of the football side of things to a guy with a really good proven track record because they know that they can benefit. It will take pressure off them if they allow this guy to work. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction, man.
Anyways, you've got society saying Maguire is going to win the ball back in 8 seconds.
That's a good one.
I think that's one of the colours of
8 minutes.
It takes Maguire about 8 seconds to turn around on the spot, doesn't it? So
it takes him 2 hours. I told you both of you. I told you 2 years ago about him. That man turns like a double-decker person.
The one guy that hates Maguire more than you is my pops, bro. Every time he gets it, you look at Maguire, he's like got his hands up like he's Pirlo looking for the killer ball. 5 minutes and then it's a sideways pass. He slows the play down too much. He's got to get that ball out of his feet much faster than
Ranić hates square passes. He like Maguire. McTominay.
Well, listen, just pray Ranić, doesn't just drop dead after about a month of this shit. Just pray that don't happen.
Anyway, guys, big up, love, light. Big up to every one of you. Please, on your way out, please, all it takes is a second for you to smash a like he's one of the Glazers. We always say win, lose or draw, Glazers out, bankers out, regardless, because we're willing to wait and see. If Ranić get given the power for him to make the changes, we will see. But what does he tell you? We've had 7 managers in 9 years. We've had 3 interim managers and 4 managers. And Man United has still not sniffed the league title. We've only been to a quarter-final of the Champions League. We've not sniffed the semi-final. So it just tells you people where we are. We are a Succession. We are a HBO special. We are a Netflix show. So can this continue? Or is this the beginning? The beginning of what it is to go back to being a football team. Only time will tell. All will be revealed because one place a football club can never hide is on the football pitch. Tomorrow, all of us might be hiding behind our sofas because it could be a car crash. But for the foreseeable future, we might be able to get a football team. We might be able to get, and to me, it's not about Martial FC, Rashford, it's none of this. I don't care if Ralf Ranić said, 30 players, get off you go, and he's allowed to sign 30 new players. It's about team and system, about team shape. It's about who's going to win. I don't care if Ronaldo knows to put out a joint. I'm not. A lot of my criticism has been kept behind, right, for the players, because I'm like, let's see what they do with the new guy. So all their crimes, the crimes they committed against Liverpool, the crimes the players have committed against the fans, us, they committed against Man City, the crimes they committed against Watford, the crimes they committed against Leicester, all of that will be wiped if they listen to this guy and listen to his methods and give us something to be proud of, a team that we can get behind. That's what we need, guys. But anyway, love, light, always. Mundo, tell them where they can find you. Mighty Mundo on Twitter. Ralf, hey, old Ralf, how are we doing?
Guten Tag, people.
Wunderbar, genau. Anyway, like I said, Mundo, El Wiedersehen. See you later, people. Peace, love, and light, always. Take care. Catch you on the next one. Match reaction for tomorrow. Come on, United. Give me something to shout about tomorrow, please.